candy.
Dragula Titans recap in 5 minutes, episode 4. So the monsters re-enter the workroom, recap, blah, blah, blah. They praise Kendra Onyx's attitude from last week, saying she never downed anybody just to make herself feel better. They are hoping that she comes back. Unfortunately, that's not what happens. In the midst of it all, Koco Caine calls out the girls that supported Abora's attitude and says they contributed to the problem.
And she takes that out on every single other person in the room.
We know. We've experienced it, but y'all love and protect that, though. So I don't want to hear any more about it.
Abora walks back in the workroom and crickets. Crickets, bitch! It just feels wrong. And in the midst of her coming back, I mean, the delusion, in the midst of her coming back, she is surprised that nobody's happy to see her.
No one's happy to see me, that I'm back.
Anyway, okay, I'm gonna have to read this because this challenge is huge. They find out on the main stage that they have to do a Dungeons and Dragons challenge, meaning they have to dress up as a character that would be found in Dungeons and Dragons. Nothing specific, just a character from a fantasy realm, but with a Dungeons and Dragons theme. So we're talking elves, goblins, barbarians, wizards, etc. Then in the Boulay Brothers Renaissance Village, they have to give a floor show, meaning they have to perform their outfit, they have to perform their character in this village. Then they have to act out a adventure. So they have to act out an adventure, much like the Dungeons and Dragons movie, which no one saw, and which everyone saw and hated.
Let their blood rain from the sky!
Then on top of all this, they don't get to choose the class or race they get to create. This is wild because in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, so these drag performers got, you know, the list of things that they're supposed to bring for certain challenges. And in this case, they have to create something out of, I guess, whatever is given to them in the workroom. I'm not really sure how it's working, but it works somehow. Today's fright feat is tug of gore. It sounds exactly the way it is. It's tug of war, and it's a pit of gore, and they're split up into 2 teams, and whatever team wins, they get to choose the script. Now, the scripts are not created equal. One is easy, and the other one is hard, and the language is backwards. It's a harder script, which also makes it far more interesting to do. The team that ended up winning picked the easier script, of course. Of course, you're going to pick the easy script because you think, oh, well, let's focus on the acting and not so much the words. Whereas the other team were kind of hoping that they got the harder script so that they can create and build off of something. That was the smarter choice. After Koco Caine gets pulled into, well, not really pulled into, she was in the back, but she fell into the pit of gore. She came out of her clothes and she's in this unitard that... Fuck. Then Astrid goes on a D&D rant, and it's funny, but yet another produced moment from Melissa B. Fierce. I think this is their produced girl. This is the girl that they're going to go to for these produced moments. She says all the buzzwords, and it's not even that she's trying. It is $100,000 on the line. I'm here to work. You know what I'm saying? Moving on. On the main stage, we get the Boulay Brothers coming out in what looks like Eva Lynn cosplay, but it's so good. And our 2 judges this week are Misha Osherovich and Eric Grace. Both are actors. I am not familiar with either of them. I'm sure I've seen them in something. I don't know. They're cool. They're actually really good judges this week. Some of my faves are Eva Destruction and Hoso, but Koco Caine, I'm team Koco Caine, okay? I say that almost every episode. One of the most creative and imaginative creators I have ever seen in my life and have ever had the chance to meet, mainly because of her level of creating something within the structure of her blackness is just, It's good shit, man. Probably will go down in history as one of their best. This is a long one. I'm really trying to condense this down to 5 minutes. So we get to the acting. And the first team who picked the easy route is rough. They are rough. The acting is rough. Victoria Black can't remember her lines. It's a lot. It's Plan 9 from outer space bad.
Their own dead will be used to make them accept our existence and believe in that fact.
Which means the second group actually turned out to be great. They had harder lines, they had more stuff to do, and it turned out to be really, really fantastic. Koco showed her ass, her entire ass. This acting, the way that Koco leans into the comedy, leans into it like a black girl would lean into it. And that, you can't make that up. Like, you can't recreate that.
For now, we have a meal for the beast rapidly approaching on our heels.
Also, Hoso did really, really great. After everything, Eva has a small breakdown because her acting was meh and she was having a little panic attack, but it's nothing really of note. I'm sure they'll bring it up next episode, but so we find out that Koco wins. Team Koco Caine, bitch! And Victoria and Erica Clash are in the bottom. Victoria Black being in the bottom hurts my heart. There are some other characters I really, really love on this show, but game recognized game. But we find out that Erica Clash goes home. That's correct. See you next week.
Candy.